Hello, this is the G-Man of VAP because my opinion is just that interesting. As you can see, I'm kind of using my crappy webcam camera instead of my regular camera because I wanted to get this video done and out of the way, and it's been on my mind for a little while over the past couple of weeks. Where I live, on the radio, there's this talk show host. His name is Bob Dutko, and I used to listen to him for a really long time until he just started to piss me off because everything that he does is based around lies, deceptions, misinformation, poisoning the well, and anti-science rhetoric, and it really, after a while, started to get to me. And now I've looked into a lot of the claims that he makes. A lot of the claims that he makes over and over again have been debunked and aren't true, and a lot of times they're flat out lies, but he still spews them. The best thing about him is if people come onto his radio show and he doesn't like them, he just talks over them. The man has never been in, to my knowledge, a formal debate. It's always an informal debate where he can just, bulldoze over anybody he doesn't agree with. But today, and this is where the shit Bob Dutko says headline comes into play, he said something really telling. Him and Dr. Grady McMurtry, who is another anti-science zealot that he has on a show from time to time, he runs a website called Creation Worldview Ministries, which is a giveaway right there. It's not about science, it's about proselytizing. And the guy has no actual training in any field of, biology, paleontology, history, geology, geography, even things like brain block. The point is, the guy's got a degree in agricultural studies, which is great for if he's studying agriculture, but the man speaks as an authority on all matters of science, from biology to cosmology, and it's ridiculous. And Bob has him on his show like he's some kind of authority because he gets to tout around the idea that he is a PhD scientist, but he's the only PhD scientist that Bob has ever had that's actually agreed with him. The point is, after that tangent, today a bumbling, obviously nervous caller called into Bob Dutko's show and told Bob that he and Dr. Grady McMurtry need to stop using the Marco Polo argument for dinosaurs living with people. Now, for a little background, what happens is that Bob and Grady like to trudge out the same tired, overused, and disproven evidences for what they're trying to sell. And in their minds, somehow, if they're able to prove that dinosaurs live with humans, that, the theory of evolution is completely inaccurate. If they've managed to show that there are some remaining dinosaur lineages alive today, that's really great and fascinating, but I'm not sure how it completely disproves evolution. But the thing is, all of their claims are, at their best, sketchy as hell, and at their worst, complete fabrications. Case in point, the writings of Marco Polo. Marco Polo claims to have encountered all these creatures and animals and monsters and whatever that they claim to be dinosaurs. Now, I don't know about this. I have not looked into the workings of Marco Polo, but what my basic useless assumption is that they are exaggerations, possibly, of what he went on and what happened in his adventures. Because this caller called in to say that the writings of Marco Polo were not accurate, that they were fiction, because he'd watched a documentary on Netflix. Now, like I said, I don't know about the authenticity of this claim. I hardly know anything about Marco Polo personally. But what I'm guessing this bumbling, very nervous caller was trying to say was that these works were, exaggerated slightly when they were written. And quite possibly that not everything can be taken seriously. But more so, I am very questionable about what Bob and Dr. McMurtry are using, because a lot of the things that they have used are usually, out of context quotes, only partial information based on really flunky books or works. Like one of the things he cites is from a book about a guy wrote trying to prove the existence of things like Atlantis and things like that. And Bob holds it up as some sort of pinnacle proof that dinosaurs lived with human beings. Anyway, Bob kept asking this caller, well, give me one PhD expert who was in this documentary who agrees with this, which I laughed in my car. I laughed because it's so indicative of the kind of moron this guy is, where he will ask for a PhD person when it's convenient for him, but when he's got, the leagues of PhD people who say that gene drift and allele frequencies and DNA evidence, fossil evidence, biological evidence that supports the idea of common descent and evolution, just writes it off, not important to him. Because, and then he also drops this gold nugget in the form of saying, I have debated people who A, B, and C, because he likes to claim that if he debated these people, his opinion is on their level, when the man has no formal training whatsoever in any level of expertise. He likes to boast that he's got 160 IQ, but I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. The man has no expertise in anything. The man is a self-righteous asshole who likes to bully and bulldoze people and, pick apart editorials without actually going to actual scientific work, and would never actually engage in a debate with somebody who actually knew what they're talking about. But I just think it's kind of funny that he thinks that, oh yeah, give me one PhD. The PhD isn't even important. It's the information that's important, because I know Bob is probably not going to go look into this, and if he does, he's going to make a big deal of it so that he can hoist his ego up even more. Now, I want to actually, in the future, continue this thing, shit that Bob Dutko says, and I have like a list of other things that he said, which I don't feel are appropriate for what I want this video series to be, because I want it to be stuff that he said the day I upload the video. If he says really good shit, and he says really dumb shit. But I also want to make a video, it might be 2 or 3 parts, and it's the falsehoods of Bob Dutko, because this guy is getting traction, and he makes his arguments and evidences look really appealing, because he's like, oh look, there's this book that says this, A, B, and C, and then his audience, who are just dying for validation to what they think, just accept it and move on. They don't know that it's based on misinformation and flunky, spunky, hoity-toity bullshit. Wholesale bullshit. Like ABC warehouse bullshit. That joke and analogy was last, but I want to do more, because he's getting traction, and he's got influence. And the only other blogs that I know that actually try and debunk the crap that he says aren't active anymore. So, I gotta, take up the mantle, fight the good fight. This is my cross to bear. If that has to be the case, then I'll do it. But it's mainly because I'm so familiar with the crap that he says. But I don't want this stuff to get out there, get out of hand, because what he says is completely ridiculous. And whatever small influence that I can have at informing people to what is actually true and accurate, then, if I can get my influence out there, then I've done my part. Anyway, that's it. Mild, short, longish tangent video. This is the G-Man VAP signing off. I will see you next time.